Gravity is the silent force that holds everything together, from the ground beneath your feet to the planets in orbit. Without it, we'd be drifting aimlessly through space. But what if we told you there are places on Earth where gravity seems to take a day off? Spots where objects roll uphill, waterfalls flow in reverse, and nothing behaves the way it should. Science scratches its head, but the mysteries remain. Join us on a journey to explore 15 secret locations that defy the law of physics, and trust us, you won't believe your eyes that these places actually exist. Let's start off with number 15, Mount Aragats. There's a road on Mount Aragats where reality seems to be malfunctioning. Park your car at what looks like the bottom of the hill, shift into neutral, and instead of rolling down, you'll start moving up. Streams appear to climb against their natural flow, and even walking here feels different. The effect is so strong that scientists have studied the site to determine whether an actual gravitational anomaly exists. The answer? Not exactly. The terrain creates an optical illusion so convincing that even measuring tools have to double-check themselves. Without a visible horizon line, your brain misinterprets the slope, making uphill look like downhill and vice versa. It's a simple trick of perspective, but the experience is anything but ordinary. Tourists come expecting a small illusion. Most leave questioning how easily their senses can be fooled. Number 14, Upside-Down Waterfall. A waterfall is supposed to fall, that's the deal. But at Waipuhia Falls in Oahu, Hawaii, things don't go as expected. Instead of cascading down the cliffs, the water rushes straight back up into the sky. This bizarre effect happens when powerful trade winds collide with the falling stream, blasting it upward like an invisible hand pushing against gravity. The stronger the wind, the more dramatic the illusion, especially after heavy rain. From a distance, it looks like the water is suspended in midair, refusing to touch the ground. Locals embrace the eerie beauty of the phenomenon, but for first-time visitors, it's hard to shake the feeling that something is seriously wrong with the laws of nature. There's no trick, no hidden pipes, just a perfect combination of wind and water creating a sight that feels impossible. Mama Nature is just mind-blowing. Number 13, Magnetic Hill. A road that makes cars roll uphill with no engine power? Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but in Moncton, Canada, it's just another day at Magnetic Hill. Drivers park at the base, take their foot off the brake, and watch as their vehicle slowly starts creeping backward, uphill. It's not magic, just an incredibly well-placed optical illusion. The surrounding landscape tricks your brain into seeing a slope where there isn't one. Without a clear horizon for reference, your sense of direction gets scrambled, and suddenly, down looks like up. The effect has puzzled visitors for nearly a century, drawing curious travelers from around the world. Even after understanding the science behind it, watching a car roll against gravity never stops feeling strange. There is also a place in Saudi Arabia that has the same effect called Magnetic Hill, so it's not something new like China's artificial sun or the US plan to cover the sun to figure out the corona. Number 12, the Stone of Tandil. For thousands of years, a 300-ton boulder sat precariously balanced on the edge of a hill in Tandil, Argentina. The massive rock, known as the Stone of Tandil or Piedra Movediza, seemed to defy gravity, remaining impossibly stable despite its tilted position. Locals swore it moved ever so slightly, shifting with the wind but never falling. Scientists marveled at its perfect equilibrium, wondering how erosion and time hadn't sent it crashing down. Then, in 1912, after standing firm for centuries, the boulder mysteriously fell, shattering at the base of the hill. Some blamed underground tremors, while others believed human intervention played a role. Regardless of the cause, the legend lives on. Today, a replica stands where the original once perched, honoring a natural phenomenon that baffled generations. But no matter how precise the imitation, it's hard to replace the awe of the real thing, a rock that, against all odds, stood tall until the day it didn't. Number 11. The Oregon Vortex. Tucked away in the woods of Gold Hill, Oregon, is a place where reality seems to warp before your eyes. Since the 1930s, the Oregon Vortex has fascinated visitors with its bizarre gravitational anomalies. Stand on one side of the vortex, and you'll look significantly taller than a friend standing just a few feet away. Switch places, and suddenly your heights reverse. It's not a trick of the camera. It happens in real time, right in front of you. Even basic tools like bubble levels and plumb lines suggest that something is seriously off here. Balls roll uphill, brooms stand upright on their own, and people feel an unexplainable pull, as if gravity has shifted directions. Some believe it's due to magnetic fields or naturally occurring energy distortions. Others say it's just a masterfully designed optical illusion. Whatever the explanation, the Oregon Vortex keeps its secrets, turning skeptics into believers, at least for the duration of their visit. Number 10. Mysterious Road. In Jeju, South Korea, there's a road where physics seems to glitch. Park a car at the bottom, put it in neutral, and instead of rolling down, it starts creeping uphill. Water poured onto the pavement does the same, flowing against gravity. It's so convincing that thousands of tourists visit every year, standing in disbelief as they watch objects defy the natural order of things. The secret? A perfectly crafted optical illusion. The surrounding landscape, especially the way the trees and horizon line are positioned, distorts depth perception. What looks like an upward slope is actually a slight downward incline, fooling the brain into seeing an impossible climb. Even knowing the science behind it doesn't make it any less strange. Tourists often test the illusion with their own water bottles, confirming that, yes, it really does appear to move uphill. It's a reminder that sometimes our eyes don't tell us the whole truth. All right, now let's move to Number 9. Peanut Street. At first glance, Peanut Street in Brazil looks like an ordinary road, but stop your car, put it in neutral, and suddenly you're rolling uphill without touching the gas. This small street has become famous for what appears to be a gravitational anomaly, though science tells us it's all about perspective. The road's slight incline, combined with how the surrounding landscape slopes, tricks the brain into misjudging the terrain. As a result, what looks like an uphill climb is actually a downhill slope. The effect is so convincing that even after watching objects, water, and even people defy gravity, some visitors remain convinced there's more at play. Whether you see it as an illusion or a true mystery, one thing's certain. Watching a car roll against what appears to be an uphill slope never stops feeling surreal. Peanut Street continues to baffle both locals and tourists, proving that sometimes seeing isn't believing. So, nothing is real or true. Number 8. Mystery Spot of Michigan. Some places are named for what they are, and Michigan's Mystery Spot is one of them. Located in the Upper Peninsula, this 300-foot diameter area makes even the simplest movements feel wrong. People struggle to walk in straight lines, objects lean at unnatural angles, and water appears to flow against gravity. The phenomenon was first discovered by surveyors in the 1950s when their equipment started malfunctioning in bizarre ways. The more they explored, the more they realized that nothing within this small patch of land behaved normally. Scientists explain the effect as a combination of optical illusions and disrupted depth perception, but visitors still leave questioning what they just experienced. Some describe feeling lightheaded, others say they physically feel pulled in different directions. Whether it's a trick or a real gravitational anomaly, one thing is certain. Once you step into the mystery spot, your sense of reality won't feel quite the same. Number 7. Hudson Bay Gravity Anomaly. Unlike most gravity-defying locations, Hudson Bay's anomaly isn't an illusion. It's real. In the 1960s, scientists discovered that this area in Canada has lower gravitational pull than the rest of the planet. The effect is subtle. You wouldn't suddenly start floating, but precise measurements show a noticeable dip in gravitational force. The leading theory? A massive ancient ice sheet, which once covered the region, compressed the Earth's crust, creating a geological dent. Even after the ice melted, the land hasn't fully rebounded, causing a permanent gravitational difference. Another theory suggests that slow-moving convection currents deep inside the Earth are altering the area's gravitational field. Whatever the cause, the effect is real enough that satellites detect it, and scientists continue to study why Hudson Bay's gravity seems to be taking a break. Tourists visit, hoping to feel a difference, though the real proof lies in the science that keeps geophysicists scratching their heads. Number 6. Golden Rock. Perched on the edge of a cliff, balanced so delicately it looks like a single breath could send it tumbling, the Golden Rock defies all logic. The enormous boulder, coated in shimmering gold leaf, has sat in this seemingly impossible position for centuries. Even powerful earthquakes and monsoon winds haven't been able to shake it loose. Locals believe it's held in place by a single strand of the Buddha's hair, which was enshrined in the rock long ago. Scientists, on the other hand, point to a precisely balanced center of gravity and the rock's natural friction against the surface. Regardless of the explanation, standing in front of it is a surreal experience. Pilgrims journey from across the country to pay their respects, offering prayers and gold leaf to maintain its sacred glow. Whether it's divine intervention or just physics at its most precise, the Golden Rock remains one of the world's most mind-boggling and amazing gravity-defying wonders. Number 5. Santa Cruz's Mystery Spot, California. Stand in the mystery spot, and suddenly, nothing feels right. The ground tilts at impossible angles, people lean so far forward they should be toppling over, and water flows in the wrong direction. Since its discovery in 1940, this strange patch of land in Santa Cruz has left visitors questioning their senses. Some say it's an illusion caused by a tilted structure. Others believe there's something deeper at play, like gravitational anomalies or magnetic forces buried beneath the soil. Whatever the explanation, the effect is unsettling. Walking through feels like stepping into a world where the rules of physics have been rewritten. The disorientation is real, leaving even skeptics grasping for answers. Some visitors leave laughing, others leave slightly nauseous, but no one walks away unimpressed. All right, guys, now let's talk about Number 4. Spook Hill. Florida is home to plenty of ghost stories, but Spook Hill in Lake Wales offers something even stranger: gravity that refuses to behave. Park your car at the bottom, put it in neutral, and without explanation, it rolls uphill on its own. The phenomenon has been puzzling visitors for decades, fueling eerie folklore. According to legend, the hill is haunted by the spirit of a Native American chief who once battled a giant alligator here. Some say his restless spirit still lingers, causing the land to shift in ways science can't explain. But while the supernatural theories make for great campfire stories, the actual cause is a well-crafted optical illusion. The layout of the road and its surroundings trick the brain into perceiving a downward slope as an incline. Even knowing the logic, experiencing the phenomenon firsthand feels unsettling, like something unseen is pulling you back up the hill. Number 3. Electric Brae. On a quiet stretch of road in South Ayrshire, Scotland, something strange happens. Drivers take their foot off the brake, expecting to roll downhill, but instead, their car drifts uphill. This stretch, known as Electric Brae, has fascinated travelers for centuries. In the past, people believed unseen forces, possibly electrical or magnetic, were responsible. Some even suspected supernatural interference. But science provides a simpler answer. The road's sloping landscape and lack of a clear horizon distort depth perception. What appears to be an upward incline is actually a gentle decline, tricking the brain into seeing an impossible climb. Even after learning the truth, the experience is unnerving. Watching your car roll in the wrong direction challenges your understanding of physics, leaving many visitors walking away scratching their heads. Whether you see it as an optical illusion or an unexplained marvel, Electric Brae remains one of Scotland's most peculiar roadside attractions. Number 2. Cosmos Mystery Area. Step inside the Cosmos Mystery Area in South Dakota, and suddenly, nothing makes sense. Water flows uphill, people can lean at extreme angles without falling, and objects seem to shift weight as if gravity is working on its own terms. The site was discovered in the 1950s when 2 college students stumbled upon the strange phenomenon while hiking. Since then, it has become one of the most disorienting tourist attractions in the U.S. The slanted structures and surrounding terrain create powerful optical illusions that throw off balance and depth perception, making even simple movements feel bizarre. Many visitors report dizziness and a sensation of being pulled sideways, as if the laws of physics have been rewritten inside this small area. While scientists chalk it up to clever construction and visual deception, the Cosmos area remains a place where logic and reality don't quite line up, and that's exactly what keeps people coming back. Number 1. Hoover Dam. Most people visit Hoover Dam for its sheer size, but there's a lesser-known phenomenon that leaves visitors just as stunned. If you pour water from a bottle at the top instead of falling, it lifts and swirls upward. It's not a glitch in gravity, just physics in action. The immense structure creates powerful updrafts, and when light water droplets hit the rising air currents, they get swept upward rather than down. The higher the temperature and wind speed, the stronger the effect. Some visitors try it with confetti or small pieces of paper, watching in disbelief as they're lifted into the air. It's a reminder that gravity doesn't always act alone. Other forces like wind and pressure can hijack the rules, making everyday actions feel like something out of a science experiment. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing content just like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one. And remember, keep your eyes open, because you never know when you might stumble upon a place that defies the laws of physics.